Ugh. 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 I don't even like Red Bull. Like, I don't mind it. I can stand the taste. I just don't really like it. Like, Monster is fucking delicious, especially some of the flavours. The fucking mango flavour, the pink one, whatever the pink one is, they're delicious. But, you know, they're also enormous. Almost as big as my ego. We'll see how horrible that makes me feel in a few minutes. Zilla! I finished all the artwork. All of the interior artwork, I should say. I think last we left off, see, this is the first couple of pages, and then here, then it goes to the double page spread. Then, this is post the double page spread, the Hulk pages. I think the last pages I did that I compared might have been this one. Did I compare this one? That's all I'm doing now, is I'm looking through what I've done and comparing it to the old version. I did the army one, didn't I? We compared the army pages. The dreadful army pages. I don't think we compare. All right, well, got plenty to do then. Right. Oh, there might be quite a bit of burping from that Red Bull. Obviously, it was only a little can of Red Bull, but still a whole can. It seems to be working already. Right. Nope, that's the wrong page. That's not even the right page. Ewan, you fucking dink. What's the matter with you? Oh, that's right, because then there's that page, then the Hulk pages, which I've taken out so I could lay them out, because that's one thing I like to do. It's one of my favourite parts about working on a new comic, is laying out the pages as I do them. So you do a couple of pages, you put them down, look at them, then you start to get more. You get like 4, 5, 6 pages. I lay them all out on my bed, so I can look at them as a whole and see how it looks as a whole. And then, you know, you get like 10 or so pages, 12, 15. Then you get to 20, you get the whole comic done, you lay it all out. Here's a picture of it all laid out on my bed. Oh, wow. Oh, sorry, I can feel that inside me. I like looking at the whole thing. So, I said that for a reason. And it's also nice to, especially in this case, compare the old with the new, because the whole point of this is... Oh, Jesus, that's what was inside me. Oh, my God. Oh, I felt like I just gave birth. Sorry if that's disgusting to you, but, you know, fucking whatever. If you're not already, I assume you are aware, but if you're not already aware, this is a comic I made in university when I was about 20-ish, over 10 years ago, maybe between 10 and 12 years ago, called Zilla, about a giant mouse with the ear on its back terrorising a city, and it's shit. The idea is kind of funny, but the drawings are terrible. So I found it and I figured I'd remake it. So that's what I've been doing. I've been showing all the pages. So now there's this one. Look, the guy explaining the bad news. It's destroyed all the army. Look how much better it looks, man. And the guy's like, oh, bloody hell. He's got all his TV screens in the background. I kept the Teletubbies in there. Teletubbies, because that's kind of fun. Like news channels and updates on the mouse and what's going on stocks. And this one I kept almost identical. You know, the guy with his clipboard, but here he's got an iPad because it's the future. Then him with his hands on his desk, saying there, looking out he's looking out the window, but I've got him looking at the screens here, with the Secret Service guys comforting each other. Then walking out the room arm in arm with his face in the foreground, and then so as you can see, I kept the page almost identical, just updated, made it new. Yeah, so that's cool. Where shall I put all my pages? Like that. Cool, that works. Right, and then this one, more or less the same, especially to start with. Guy on the phone, the president, the prime minister, or whatever. Come on, Mr. Mouse, do the right thing. Come on, Mr. Lee. Obviously, here it's Mr. I did explain this, didn't I? And then I had the idea of him being in the coffin. All right, well, I've gone over that page then. This one changed a lot. So here is a guy driving a bus really fast towards the thing. I guess he's going to try and ram it, and then he whips his tail and flicks the bus away, and the bus goes pew. And there's some chavs beating it up, going, do him over, get his wallet, have him. Fighting its foot. And then he looks down and scares the chavs away. I wasn't really happy with any of this. I think at the time I was like, oh yeah, it's like the people fighting back, but it's not working. But in the end, I made it just a few scenes of the rat Zilla destroying some stuff. Bash, smash, and crash. I kept cars, not a bus, but some cars. It's smashing its tail into the ground, and all the cars and some people are flying up in the air. And then it's like in a destroyed city area, roaring into the skies. I don't usually like drawing buildings, but these are quite some quite fun ones with all the destruction and shit going on. And I think that's one thing I was missing from the remake is I sort of skipped over a few bits of the mouse destroying shit, like here with its tail going into the train, maybe some other parts. So I wanted to just add in a couple of those of like mindless monster destruction, bash, smash, crash, some cool sound effects in there. Then this one, I kept the eye because that's quite cool, but then that's the eye, and then this panel's almost the same as well. Ray something catches his attention, which is the big cheese here, and then I put like a little, almost like a flashback, so the thing gets his attention, and he's like, wait, this reminds me of the cheese in the maze. See, like the mouse in the maze and the cheese. Sees the cheese, jumps on the cheese. I almost feel like I maybe didn't draw enough of the cheese in the frame here. But I think you can tell what it is. And I painted it, as I said I was going to, because the whole point with this was trying to use as many different sort of media as possible. So there's ballpoint pen, marker pen, these markers I used in the background, some watercolour stuff, acrylics for this bit, and acrylics for this bit. This was done in colour, obviously, but I figured I know the thing's going to be in black and white. I still use the red undercoat because I like it. I'm comfortable with it, but then grayscale for the painting. I like how this came out. I'm really happy with that. Some destroyed city in the background. Another one that's basically the same, but just new, updated. The cheese here is like a sculpture on the side of a building, but here I made it an entire building with like an entrance and stuff. As you'll see here, pew, pew, pew. So here they're saying we'd like to thank Daniel Hurst for letting us buy his new sculpture, Massive Cheese, and it's on the side of a building. Whereas here there's people here saying and we pronounced the grand opening, we pronounced the brand new Museum of Cheese open. So it's a big museum of cheese. And then it goes to today. So last year, today, taking a bite out of the big cheese. Chomp. Similar panels there. And then this is supposed to be like, maybe not the artist, or maybe it was the artist. Yeah. Daniel Hurst, like Damien Hirst, get it? Get off my cheese. So there's some big, like, chav mum going, oh, you fucking turd, get off that cheese. And then this guy here is pointing out something which I didn't really take into account here. It's like right at the start of the comic, there's mass evacuation as the streets are still in chaos. That's like the first page. Mass exodus, streets still in chaos. See, everyone's leaving in the cars. So it's up on Patreon now, all the pages. Well, you can see with the speech bubbles, this guy being like, I thought everyone evacuated. Why are we still here? Like, why are there still people around when everyone was supposed to have evacuated? I don't know. That was a fun little, some characters drew a little dog's anus there. And then the mouse is chomping away, munch, crunch on the cheese, and then you see a car falling in the background. And then all the cars rain down on the people, and that's supposed to be the woman's head rolling away because they're all dead, some feet sticking out. I've had fun drawing like smashed cars and smashed buildings in this comic. This has been quite a good one for that. I'm happy with that page. I think that's a neat page. I had the no panel border for the flashback to hopefully help you see that it is a flashback and not just another part of the same comic or whatever. Yeah, I really like that page. It's a good page. Good page, Ewan. Good page. This is not too well drawn. Well, it's not badly drawn, but it's supposed to be like a smashed fence, like a chain link fence that's been broken through, and then just a trail of destruction leading off into the distance with smoke rising in the background. And here's the new version. Buildings on either side, destroyed in the middle, a trail of destruction leading into the background with smoke rising. Really, really happy with that. That's one of those ones that I was not really putting off, but like sort of worried about doing, delayed a little bit because I was maybe lacking a bit of confidence in like, it's buildings and it's perspective, and the perspective isn't quite on point. It's a little bit off here and there, but another page I'm really happy with. I really like this one. Like a bridge that's collapsed in the middle because the mouse has obviously crushed it as he's gone on his way. Some billboards and just buildings. I'm happy with, like, you can see the interiors and stuff. Collapsed light posts, cars and rubble, smoke. Yeah, I really like that page. I think it's like a lot of them you can say like, oh, it's far superior. It's basically the same page but drawn better. And in this case, it's like that's much. You can see more of like the city or whatever, and it's a clear path. Whereas this is a bit of a mess. You can see where I was going. I had the idea of like looking through this broken fence through to this trail of destruction, but that's much better. I feel that's much better. Yes. Then we have. Damn it, Johnson, you better have some good news for me. Again, I was trying to be funny. It pulverised a soup kitchen and a lingerie shop, and now it's gone. So I left out those bits and just said, I said like it's destroyed the downtown area or something because, destroyed the downtown area. It makes sense in the story, yeah. Could be our chance to get a plan together to fight it. If you don't turn off that bloody noise, I'll have your children deported to China and shot. That's quite funny. I left that one out. I tried to make it make a bit more sense. Whereas here, randomly, out of nowhere, he's got a fucking boombox playing music, and he's like, turn that shit off, and he's frustrated. And then they're all like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. They've all got ideas. And this guy's Lego, and that's got an energy-saving bulb. Funny. I had so many ideas of like trying to be funny. Which, that's where it starts. And now I'm just arguably better at it. So again, almost identical, mostly. The guy yelling with his arms up, his head's a bit big, but fuck it, it works. And he's like, it's gone, sir. Look how the expressions, like, I've gotten so much better at drawing faces and expressions. I'm really, really happy with like these 3 panels here of this guy being like, I'm really happy with this expression, this face as a whole, of him being like, this could be our chance to do. And there's music coming from like the doorway, see? and then it's going into his ear, and he's like, where is that fucking music coming from? And then is the shouty panel here. I basically just got rid of this panel, swapped it for that one. Really happy with this shout, really happy with this face, the vein showing how angry he is. I'm happy with the expression, and then here he's like, if that music doesn't get turned off right now, I swear to God, I'll... And then, I'm really happy with this expression, this one, and he's like, oh, I don't have the idea. See, they've all got the same idea. Ears in the background, because they're thinking sound is... The mouse has a giant fucking ear on its back, the doy. So here it's like they've got an idea, but it's like, what are they talking about? So here it's hopefully much clearer here that he's angry, get a plan together, there's music playing, and then it's right in his ear, and now he's fucking angry, turn that fucking music off, I'm trying to concentrate, but then he's like, wait a second, ears, sound, that gives me a fucking idea. Not a terrible panel. You can see where I was going. I'd seen speakers drawn similarly to this in graffiti, so I basically stole that idea. So that's the Prime Minister just in front of some giant speakers being like, haha, let's go, let's get the giant ear mouse with the speaker systems. This one maybe not as like fun and cartoony, maybe almost too realistic, but I copied a military vehicle, used reference for the military vehicle where they have like the missile things on the back, and then I drew giant speakers on the back because, you know, that makes sense, doesn't it? An army box, the boxes around, just stuff where they're all getting the sound equipment ready, and then the Prime Minister again, but he's got like headphones on to protect his ears, he's wearing a flak jacket because why not? It seems appropriate, army and stuff. I almost wish I'd made it more like this one, but drawn better, as opposed to like this is almost too realistic. But at the same time, it is better drawn. I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's not that much better. Then I did add in the to be continued thing. I like it. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. And that was a thing throughout remaking this comic, is I wanted to just get every page done. I didn't want to, like, once a page is done, it's done. I'm not going to go back and fix it and change things, because there's so many parts I could do that too with all my new pages that I've done. But I'm really like trying not to do that, to just be like, this page is done. It's fine. It's good enough. It's fine. There's no need to fucking finagle it all. And like I say, I'm happy with this page, the final page of the comic to be continued. And then I may or may not do this bit for the next one. I will add in, I think on the inside front cover, I'm going to have a little description about what this comic is. It's remade from an old comic, and an example of, I put in my Instagram story, I'll put the picture here, this picture. I photoshopped this together really quick because it's I recreated the image I saw, which inspired me to make this comic in the first place, which I was in some crummy modern art exhibit in a gallery that was attached to my university, and the only thing in there I liked even remotely was this print someone had made of this with Godzilla and this little mouse with an ear on its back in this city. I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I like Godzilla anyway, and little mouse, that's quite funny. And then I had the idea of make a comic of that mouse giant destroying a city. That would be cool to do. Then I made this comic in like 2 or 3 days. So I'll put a little bit of that info in the inside front cover of the new comic. Then will be a title page like this. I've blown up part of the comic. Which part did I blow up? I know exactly which bit it is. It's this. I've got this bit here with the car blown up to a whole page. And then I won't have Naughty Criminal Comics. That was quite a funny thing, but whatever. It will just say Zilla by Ewan 2021 or whatever. So the title page, and then it will go into the comic. Then at the end, I'll have a last page and the inside back cover, because that will make 24 pages plus the cover. So then for the last page, I'll have some like, do I still have my, yeah, I made this ages and ages, this I made around about the same time, little stencil, so I'll have that in there and maybe a couple of other drawings inspired by this comic, just stuff to sort of throw in, just extra bits. Then the last page I still might do a version of the advert in the back. So I'll get like stock photos of a smiling kid and then Photoshop a mouse onto its ear and blend them together, and then have a mouse close up with a face, a smiling face photoshopped over it, and make this ad, give me your money and have real mice grafted onto your ears. The mice love it. Holy smokes, with these mouse ears, I think I look even cooler than I actually am. Note, really, give me your money, all of it. So yeah, I'm going to remake that with photos. Like, it'll be purposely not brilliantly photoshopped, but just a nice little gag to end the comic with. And then, yeah, so it's in the works. I've got a quote from the printer. He emailed me the same day with a quote that I emailed him to get one. For a couple of 100 copies, very, very affordable. Being that it's black and white, it's obviously a lot less expensive. Black and white comic with a colour cover, which I'm working on. The cover is being worked on. Then I've just got to basically put it all together in Photoshop, and then it's ready to go. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks or so, that'll be fucking donezoed. Let's take a look at I looked at book 1 of Akira last week. This week I'm looking at book 2. One of the thinnest ones. 2 and 3 are equal in size, roughly. The thinnest of the books. I may or may not look through... I know I said this last week. I may or may not look through every book one a week. I have ordered a couple of other books. So hopefully they'll arrive soon and I can look at them. But in the meantime, let's look through some more fucking Akira, man. Look at little baby Akira on his pod thing. Am I recording? Did I? Yeah, I wasn't sure if I pressed record or not. The kids, the old-faced kids. We like them. Oh, fucking hell. Look at that city. How do you draw some shit like that? I mean, I assume it's referenced, that he hasn't just come up with that out of his fucking genius head. As I said before, the ships and stuff he draws are perfect. The cityscapes are so great. Drawing an arena under construction with this other shit in the background and cityscapes and highways and stuff, like, fucking hell. I should have stolen this for that destroyed city page in my comic, shouldn't I? I think I like to not directly reference this stuff, because I look at this stuff to go like, oh fuck, okay, that's a really good way of doing this in a black and white comic, that's a really good way of doing that in a black and white comic. But I try not to copy the ideas too directly, but just have them in the back of my head as I'm making a comic, and hopefully that sort of pushes me to think a little bit more and work on it a bit more as I'm making my comics, as opposed to going, oh, I remember this bit from Akira, let me do it like that. But just pay attention to small things here and there. There's nothing wrong, of course, if you see, you know, Akira, for instance, did this a certain way or that a certain way, to go, oh, that's a really good idea, I'll do that. And then you do it. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're doing your comic in your style. So it's got different characters, a different setting, it's drawn in a different way, and you're just taking one aspect of how the comic's made, or a few aspects of how the comic's made to put into yours. Then that's how you're supposed to do it. You can't exist in a vacuum and just come up with every idea on your own completely. Like, there are cartooning and comic book schools out there that you can go to, but in general, you have to learn this stuff somewhere. So you learn by doing. So you do stuff, you copy it, and then you learn how to do it yourself, and then you're able to do it yourself. So it's got to be influenced by something, hasn't it? So there's nothing wrong with copying or taking ideas, as long as you apply them eventually. Even if you're copying to start with, if you're seasoned and you're still taking ideas and copying them, there's nothing wrong with that per se. But like, if you're in the business thing, not that I'm not. I don't consider myself that way. So I think I'm absolutely can and should copy. Maybe I should do that more. Maybe my comics would come out better. But if you are, like, if you've been in the business years and years, then you should be able to come up with shit on your own. Not that you should. You do whatever you want. It's comics. It doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, you're making a comic. What do? I draw comics. Oh, okay, cool. It's not like I draw comics. Oh my god! Wow, that's so cool. Wow, you're a fucking artistic wizard. That's the best thing ever. It's not this grand thing you're making. You're filling pages with little boxes of drawings of people doing shit. It's not. Oh, that Red Bull's in me. What the fuck am I even saying? There is some cool stuff in here. Some cool set pieces, a nice little office space, a fucking laser gun. We like that. Yeah, I think that may be one thing that stops me from looking at every Akira book, because I can only say so much about the art up to the point where I'm just looking through it and pulling out single images going, oh, this is really good, or that's really good. I guess this is the bit where this girl is controlling, is it Kay or Kai, that girl? Why are you manipulating her? To kill him. Kill who? Yes, to kill Tetsuo. To kill Tetsuo? Kill him how, huh? Is that what the gun's for? Hey, what the hell's going on here? She's gonna kill Tetsuo, or try to. I don't think she manages to do that, though. Tetsuo. Ugh, I can't even turn pages. What's going on? They're having mind power fights with each other. That's cool. Oh no, what's he doing to the Colonel? I think the Colonel's one of those characters who survives the entire thing, I think. Again, it's been many years since I've read it. I like these bits. Like the visualization of him using his mind powers, just shit floating everywhere. I like the laser, just one line, just pew, squish, shift. Tetsuo, Kaneda, die, zap, pew, quiz, puff, ship, crush, zip, wah. Did I nail him? What the hell is that? Fight scenes. Man, I breeze through it, but that's hard stuff, like, to build in your mind of, okay, he's firing the gun, but what's he doing? He's crouching here and then running and then jumping to the side. And then, like, where do you put everyone? How do you decide where the movements all go? And it's not easy shit to do, man. That's cool as well. Shooting through this sculpture thing, this archway, and making it come to pieces. And then he fucks off out the building. Jesus. That's what I've been trying to draw a lot of in Zilla. Piles of rubble. Because it's easy to just draw like a bunch of blocks. And that's, you can kind of get away with it like that. But then really, if you think about like a collapsed building, there's bricks and stuff, clumps of bricks, single bricks. And then there's like metal pipes and roofing materials, tiles or sheet metal or whatever, and beams and shit. Like, you want to sort of not necessarily show it all, but try to imply bits and pieces of that instead of just a pile of rocks. But then it's like, you know, if I draw a phone, like I did in Zilla, you draw a phone in the shape of an old phone, you look at it and you go, oh, it's phone. Phones aren't really like that anymore, but it's phone. Okay, so if I draw a pile of rocks, that's obviously, you know, next to a building or whatever, you go, oh, demolished building, I get it. You don't go, oh, well, it's missing the steel and the iron that makes up the foundations and the planks and pylons and wires and cables and pipes and shit. You go, oh, destroyed building, pile of rubble. Okay, I get it. So there's something to be said for drawing it, you know, realistically with all fucking every detail imaginable. But also, you don't have to draw every single fucking thing. You just have to imply what's there, you know. Different styles. It's just different, innit? It depends on, you know, different people, different styles, different methods, different ideas and ways of approaching, ways of problem solving, different ways of drawing comics, which I guess is what it is ultimately. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bing, bing, bing. That's cool. Drawing 4 or 5 people in a scene is like, oh, fucking hell, okay, 4 or 5 people. Drawing a scene of that many people, even if it's only one panel, it's like, fuck me. I checked, oh, fucking, is it, okay. I checked to see how long I was spending talking about this fucking thing, and I realised my phone had gone, would you like to update? And stopped recording. So I said some really insightful stuff about drawing and comics making, and it wasn't recorded. And I feel silly just repeating myself. So this is a really cool drawing of a room, which may well be a photo of a place, which is a really good idea. If you know you've got a bedroom scene in your comic, you can just make it up and go bed, bedside table, wardrobe. Or if you're in your friend's house for dinner or something, and you go, oh, let me get a quick photo of your bedroom. Let me take photos of your living space, and then just draw what you see. Because then because this, for instance, has a real like lived-in bedroom feeling to it. It might be made up, it might be from reference, but either way, like just the shit hanging around, this attention to detail and stuff that makes it look like a real living space as opposed to just a drawing of a bedroom. Which again, completely fine to just draw, you know, icons of shit so you get the idea. But also, sometimes it's good to, you know, reference some shit, make it look like actual things. It's the bit where Tetsuo goes, oh, that's really, really cool. Like I said before about the scene in the film, in the corridor where it goes boom, and does it go boom or does it go boom? All the bodies explode. We love the delicious. That's really cool. That's a really cool panel actually, with like that guy almost framing the panel and these guys almost crouching into it. Tetsuo going down to meet Akira. So I've already been over this, but now I have to do it again because the fucking thing stopped recording. Would you like to update? No! I want to make my podcast. Explosions. I pointed out, so I'll point out again. I could have probably gone over it and pretended nothing had happened, but, you know. I like to be honest, don't I? If you look at it as explosions, because if you're drawing a phone, you go, that's how you draw a phone, so that's how you draw a phone every time you draw a phone. It's really easy to get in your head, oh, this is how I draw an explosion. So every time you draw an explosion, if you have to draw them multiple times in your comic, it's so easy to just lean on how you draw explosions and make them all look like the explosions that you draw. But if you look at the ones in here, they all look different, and they're all like adapted to the scene that they're in. So this is like, you know, lots of smoke with a bit of like jagged explosion fire stuff, blast coming out of it. This is just almost like a mushroom cloud with the fire in the middle and stuff. Really, really nice, big bulbous shape. Did I miss? There was another one. I swear there was another one. Oh, it might be there. It's a very sort of jagged explosion. Lots of outward lines. Not much billowing smoke. Lots of harsh, jagged, sharp lines. And here is almost a mixture of both. You've got like the smoke and stuff, but also the direction of the explosion of just shit coming out. It's really, really good. So every explosion is drawn differently and looks like it's drawn differently. It's not like, here's an explosion, cloud, fire. Here's an explosion, cloud, fire. It's really, really... That's something, you know, I certainly need to pay attention to in my comics, for instance. It's those details, though, innit? You pay attention to them and it affects your comic and how it looks. You know, it's just your art in general, if you do comics or otherwise. Fucking speed through this. I'm almost sick of it now. Dum, 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 dum. Game over. Game over. There he is. The lad, the kid. Akira. That's a really cool reveal. That's really neat with like very, very fine duotone dots. The white Tetsuo and Akira there. The name slightly lighter. Tetsuo, Akira. The fucking steam coming off of him and his feet sort of hidden in the smoke or whatever, I guess. The pipes and shit. Really, really cool. Really cool reveal. That's cool too. Akira. You are Akira? That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. That's a really cool, like, page. He's looking down, there's both of them there, and him looking up. That's really cool. Really well done. And now shit's going down. Fuck. Oh, that's a badass scene. I think that's, is that like the it's freezing. What did it say? It's like 100 degrees below Kelvin or something, or whatever. Super sub-zero temperatures to keep the containment thing contained and not overheating. They have to keep it like at below freezing temperatures. And he gets trapped outside and freezes solid. And that's all like ice and shit. That's cool. That is horrifying. It almost looks like, you know, nuclear explosion, face melting kind of stuff. That's really cool. Scary stuff. Oy, another one. It just blows your mind. Again, it just the difference in it. These fucking, like, I don't know, factory buildings or chimneys or whatever they are, the highways and bridges and waterways and stuff, the different types of buildings, just insane. And you see, if you see like making of things, you see behind the scenes of them doing the comics or the films or whatever, You see, they've got piles and piles of like books of reference photos and stuff, like books and books and books of Japanese architecture and cityscape photos and things. So you see them flicking through them, finding photos to use as reference. So I'm sure that's where that came from. It might even be parts of many photos together. It might be like, I need to find a photo of something like this and a photo of something like this, and then this might be 2 or 3 photos for reference. It might not be. I don't fucking know. I'm just assuming, okay? It's just my ideas on how it is. Cool, cool, cool. It's all very cool. Very, very good and cool. Boom! Space laser! Is that like the Sol laser or whatever it is? Satellite Omni laser. I don't know. Sol 740, yeah. Locked on. Fire. Blackham. It's fucking good. That destroyed building there in the fucking... That's good shit, man. There you go. That's the shit that makes me want to draw a post-apocalyptic comic. Those kinds of scenes. Just desperate, sparse wastelands and shit. Akira! Akira! Number 28. That's him. That's Akira. Ah! His fucking hand come off. Shit. When did that happen? Was that the space laser taking his hand off? Or was it the rock? Because he got rock on his hand or something? I don't know. Either way, he's lost his fucking hand. That's so fucking good. Oh, that's a good place to leave it as well. Nice. It's raffle time, it's raffle time, it's motherfucking raffle time! Raffling off the Pokemon Fusion. And 2, I'll not give you 3 because fuck you. 2, this drawing of some alien thing I drew at some point, signed, of course, Fusion, the Pokemon Fusion. Signed, there you go. The original Pokemon Fusion zine with all the fusiony Pokemons in it. I'll also throw in this Ed, and Eddie print, because why not? 17 out of 50. Fucking have that too. A wonderful prize package. I already signed it. I signed it last week. Well, there you go. It's signed twice. Why not? Why bloody not? Do you know what we could do? Let me fire up the old lappity toppity top, the tippity top tap, the lappity tap top tip, the tippity tap top, the lippity lap lop, blippity plap plop, Pokemon Fusions, Pokemon Fusion Generator. Oh, come on, this doesn't even look like the same site I used before. Oh, fuck you, it's not. Fusion... the site, because this looks like a really, like, mega update. Oh, this is the one I'm used to. Right, random... oh, that's quite a good one. Or maybe like that. just for added value, I may as well add something to the last page of this fucking thing. And added value for the podcast. You get to watch me draw in my drawing podcast. I guess that's the point of the whole thing, isn't it? And then like that sort of, and sort of more of a rough doodle rather than a full finished fucking piece in it, but it's all good. It's all part of the fun. We like it. How many fingers? 4, I think. They look more like bear paws than they should, but fuck it. That's the attitude. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? I don't care. Fucking fuck it. Can you tell what it is? I don't know how well the face shows what the face is supposed to be. Because the face is supposed to be a Persian, and I've never really given too much time to looking at Persian because I wasn't really interested in. It's just a cat, isn't it? It's a big fucking cat. Why would I give a shit about that? Cats are stupid. No, I actually really like cats. And a Snorlax body. And it's called a Perlax, apparently, which makes sense. Persian, Snorlax, Perlax. So that's that. There you go. Added extra. Brand new doodle. Whoop-de-woodle. Oh, look at the lovely fucking whatever. A nice little Perlax there. Just an added bonus. For RJ Poo, who won already, but as I did think might be an issue, is a very small pool of people that this is 2 in 1 magic, that like and comment the stuff on Patreon. So as much as I try to make the same person not win again and again, I can only do that so much because there's only so many people. So RJ Pooch already won something, but now he's won something else. So good for him. Good luck. I don't have any envelopes currently. I just sent the last of them off today. So I will put that in an envelope for you and send it to you. I probably already have your address. I'll hit you up, I guess, or you can hit me up. Also, he even said, he commented saying he apparently, allegedly, printed off one of these and actually folded it during my zines video. Well, now he's got the real fucking thing, so that's good for him. Bloody great. Hooray. This week, for this week's raffle, you can win this. This is a print of my Mona Lisa ballpoint drawing. I forgot I had these. I've got a bunch of them left. So I thought I'll fucking give one away. This is on board and it's covered in plastic. I will unwrap it. I'll probably roll it up for when I send it. Put it in a tube, send it to you, and I'll throw in, I don't know, another drawing or two. I'll see what I can find lying around. But that's virtually actual size of the real drawing that I did. Signed from 2019. Yeah, a nice A3 fucking print of my Mona Lisa. That's quite cool. You can get that for free. Hang it on your wall, or draw a mustache on it or something. I don't know. Do whatever. Do what you want. I don't know. So within the next week, leave a comment on the Patreon page on the video of this podcast, or on the YouTube page of this podcast. Only during this 1 week it counts. I guess up to Thursday. So yeah, that's 7 days, isn't it? You got till Thursday, because that's when I look at the comments and pick the winner randomly. It's always randomly generated, the winner. And you can win this. And again, a couple of stickers, some other stuff. Maybe I'll throw in a little doodle or something. Maybe I'll draw a mustache on it live on next week's podcast. So comment, win. Win, win, win. Win, win, win. This is going to be the cover for Zilla fucking comic. I'm painting it smaller because I don't have any good bigger paper to paint on, really. So the fold line will be about here, and I'll just blow it up in Photoshop to make it the right size. I'll put the Zilla text here. I'm going to do the text. I'm going to do it again. It'll be the same sort of text, drawn in like scribbly ballpoint. A little bit neater and tidier, but essentially the same thing. And I will try to make it. I might actually cut it out and paste it on, so it has that aesthetic, that handmade cut and paste aesthetic to it still, because I do like that. Like nice little mousy mouse. I'll make a nice pink and fleshy colour skin, all the wrinkles and creases in it. Some red eyes, as I guess they don't always have, but you know, it looks quite cool giving them red eyes, so I'll do that. And then it'll be like a white background, because I want to make it look like it's not quite on a, you know, like a laboratory table or workbench or something, but something like that. And then these are supposed to be like boxes with like handwritten bank with a little silly hand-drawn door and windows on it. So I'm going to keep that aesthetic as well. So it's like they're boxes around this mouse and tiny little toy cars. But it's like, you know, you could almost think, oh, well, then maybe the whole comic's actually a dream or you know, a simulation of this mouse in this tiny little area. But it's not. It's real. It really happened. You saw that photographic evidence of the Godzilla and the mouse. It happened. That was a genuine photograph. So I'll be painting this maybe today. We'll see how it goes. But that's all by the by. I had this idea I wanted to tell you about of something I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do a 24-hour comic. Yes. So here's where it started. Was I don't know if it's a challenge or just a thing people do on Instagram that I've seen. This is where I've seen it, and my knowledge of it is people take 24 hours, and every hour they do a short, like 4-panel comic, and then they build up all of those within. So every hour they do a comic, and then 24 hours they have 24 little comics. But almost virtually all of the ones I've seen of people doing that, all the comics are like autobiographical of the person making the comic. It's like a 4-panel comic of the person going, oh, I had to quickly rush out and get groceries and then rush back so I could draw this comic that you're reading right now. And it's like, why is that? That's boring. That's most of them that I've seen have been like that. And they're all badly drawn. Like, it took you an hour to fucking make that? Really? 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 So I thought, oh, I could do better than that. And then I thought, I could do even better than that. What if I drew a page of a comic an hour for 24 hours, and then by the end of it, I'd have a full comic book, a whole single comic book made in a day. It's taken me, well, yeah, I guess it's not taken me months, but I've worked gradually over a few months to make Zilla. But then I could have a whole comic done in a day. That's something I could do easy. You know, don't make the pages too complicated or anything, and an hour, yeah, I could do that. Fucking A. And then out of curiosity, to see if there was like this particular challenge people were doing, I googled 24-hour comic. And apparently, the thing I thought of doing, 1 page an hour for 24 hours, is already a thing. That's the thing. Somebody did it, a pro artist did it in like the 90s, I think, or maybe earlier. And then off the back of that, a bunch of other artists tried it, and then a bunch of other, and it's become like quite a big thing that people do. The 24-hour comic, where you draw a page an hour for 24 hours, and then you have a full comic after it, which is cool. So part of me is like, oh, that's already a thing. I thought I came up with that, and it was a really cool idea. But at the same time, hey, cool, it's a thing. That means I can do it, and people will be like, oh, you did it, it's the thing. Apparently several artists have tried and failed to complete their comic or whatever within the 24 hours. So if I can do it, be better than some other artists. But yeah, so that's something I'm going to do because I think it'd be really fucking cool. Now, one issue I'm having is what to fucking do. Like, what comic? What do I do for the comic? What do I make it about? What's the subject, the substance? What's it actually going to be about? I did have this one idea for a story anyway that I thought could work quite well in terms of the amount I'd actually have to draw that I could communicate, with a page an hour. It could work. It was a story I was going to call like Demon or Demons, which is based off of my idea of that I go on and on about how you can see bad people's badness in their faces and stuff. You can see it. So it would be a story like that where a guy sees people as bad people and they're demons and then he kills them. And then it sort of ramps up and other things happen. And then I realised that's basically that episode of Hannibal where a guy sees people as demons and then kills them and turns them into angels and then ultimately kills himself. And I was like, oh yeah, that's... And there's also a film with Matthew McConaughey called like Frailty or Piety or something like that. It's quite a good film actually. It's really, really quite good. I recommend. But again, it's a bit similar to that. And I think my version, because I had a certain idea for like how I'd start the story, and it would be a proper 3-act story. So 8 pages for the first act, 8 pages for the middle act, and 8 pages for the third / finale. And I had it worked out in my head, so it would come out quite nice, quite cool. And I think I could make it original enough that while people would certainly be able to draw comparisons to, Hannibal or whatever else exists already, it would still be able to stay as its own contained story. However, I did think I could maybe do something gun Viking related, like a 24-hour, like a gun Viking 24-hour extravaganza. Could be quite a cool one to do. Because I was thinking in terms of my output for the year, the Gun Viking graphic novel, the full book, cool. Zilla is about to be printed, cool. Zach Ridley, that new first issue special book's coming out at the end of this month, cool. And then a 24-hour comic on top of that, which I was thinking of maybe just photocopying it, just make it like that, draw it, and then straight after the 24 hours is up, head out, photocopy it, staple it together, and then it's ready to send out. But I might get it like proper printed, I'll see. And of course on the front cover, it will say 24-hour comic. This comic was made in 24 hours, one page an hour. So I was thinking, I don't know if I want another Gun Viking comic amongst that, but at the same time, I don't know, because it would be cool to have the Gun Viking comic, Zilla, Zach Ridley, and then this whole separate 24-hour comic, different story, different characters, different world and environment and everything. It's completely its own thing. But at the same time, it could be cool to have the Gun Viking book, Zilla, Zach Ridley, and then Gun Viking black and white, because it would have to be black and white. I think I may be able to squeeze some grey in there for shading. We'll see how that goes. 24-hour Gun Viking comic could be cool. And I had some ideas for a Gun Viking story told in 6-page increments. The theory being they could potentially be suited for publication in something like 2000 AD, where the stories in general are told in 6-page, segments. So 4 6-page segments tied together to make one sort of like one-shot story of Gun Viking. And that story would involve Gun Viking having his or growing extra arms for part of it, so that could be cool to do as well. One issue I'd have with doing it as Gun Viking is I'd have to sort of portion out the time, like bottle episodes in sitcoms and like I guess TV shows in general. I know Star Trek did it a lot. I guess every TV show probably does it. That wheel should be like here, where they have bottle episodes, like ship in a bottle episodes, where it's all contained. So they portion out the budget. So they have larger portions of the budget go to bigger, grander episodes of the show, where they have more action, more explosions, more effects, different set pieces and settings and stuff, maybe more actors involved, more characters. And then they have smaller amounts of the budget for the show go towards more smaller contained episodes of just like people in one room talking, and it's about drama and suspense and stuff as opposed to big grand action scenes. So I'd have to do something like that with the comic, where I could maybe knock out a page of people talking in sort of 30 minutes, and then that gives me an extra 30 minutes to work on a bigger, grander page. Or, if I do a double page spread, that's 2 hours to do one big page. And if I have an extra 30 minutes from somewhere else, then that's an extra 30 minutes to spend on, one huge, grand action scene or something. So I'd have to do that. Certainly if I was doing Gun Viking, because there's muscles and guns and explosions and big monsters and shit, I would want to spend more time here and there doing that sort of stuff. And then I would have a few pages of just, Gun Viking. And there are portions where it would be Gun Viking talking to someone, getting information, or just Gun Viking travelling. So, it's in a snowy wilderness. So I could do small Gun Viking, a few lines for mountains, and then you get the idea. Like I say, don't have to draw every detail, just give enough information to show what it is you're trying to show. And I think that could be. I might, now I'm talking about it, I might go with that, with the Gun Viking idea, because I think that could be quite cool, and I think people would be pretty hyped on that as well. Everyone seems to like Gun Viking, the full book quite a bit. So if people know that I'm doing a special one-off 24-hour Gun Viking comic, I think they'd be pretty jazzed about that. So that'd be cool. And I could sell it and maybe make some money, which, it's not about the money, but I need to pay my bills, don't I? I'm a working artist. And then, if you think about it, if I can do a comic in 24 hours and sell it, I could do that all the time. Why not? I was thinking, because, I'm getting on a bit, I can't, it's nowhere near as easy to stay up for 24 hours as it used to be. But just this week, earlier, like Monday or Tuesday, I was up for about 30 or so hours because I just couldn't sleep. And then I was doing stuff, and during that time, I was thinking about this 24-hour comic. And I was like, I don't feel too tired, and if I got some energy drink in me, Red Bull or Monster or whatever, then I could easily, sit and draw and get this comic done. So I believe I can do it. I'm not like, a page an hour, I don't know. 24 hours, am I going to be able to stay awake? I definitely feel like I can and could and will do it. I can achieve it. It's not the sort of thing I should do regularly. I think maybe once a month I might be able to, if you think about it. If I stay up for a 24 to 30 hour period once a month to create a comic and then sell it, I mean, that's potentially, I could do a lot with that, actually. I have to come up with ideas for comics. Maybe I'll just do an ongoing Gun Viking series. I don't know. I was thinking as well, I will try to document it as best I can. I'll have a watch running, a clock or whatever running the whole time. I've got a little digital watch, so I'll use that. So I won't be able to film the entire... I'm not filming for 24 hours because I use my phone and it updates and stops recording. But I'll film like a couple of minute segments here and there every hour. A couple of pieces of just with the camera on me drawing, some on the pages that I'm creating. Some of them I'll hold close as I'm doing certain bits. I'll video the clock every now and again so you can see the time. And there will be a couple, I'll try not to spend too long eating, but like taking breaks for food and whatever. Also, I've decided the date I'm going to do this is going to be September 6th. If you're unaware, that's my birthday. And I figured that could be quite cool. Why not? It's my birthday. I'll stay up for 24 plus hours creating a comic. So I'll have like a birthday cake or something add into the video. So the video, I think, needs to be no more than sort of like really 7 to 10 minutes of just little snapshots of this 24-hour period. And that way I can just make sure I've got my camera or phone ready to record at a moment's notice on my tripod or whatever, plonk it down for a couple of minutes while I'm drawing, stop recording, and then carry on drawing. Like, I should be able to manage that. Ultimately, all of this is see how it goes, but I think I should be able to do it in such a way that it's manageable and can create something worth looking at ultimately. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to. A 24-hour comic. And another thing produced this year, which was something I was worried about of not doing enough. But I think I'm well on my way to making shit, so that's cool. Anyway, I'm going to get this painted, so fuck off.